Crazy.
No.
It's been some crazy times in the cave. Crazy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the cave. It's me, Joe Reezy, and I'm here with Z, Zach, and Melman. You already know he's back in the cave, but before we begin,
what's going on? I'm back.
Make sure you check out our sponsors at safelight.com, safelightcandle.com. If you need lighting for your home, workspace, or your studio, get it at safelightcandle.com. Also, check us out at cave.com. That's cave4v3.com. What's up, Mel? Welcome back to the cave.
What's going on,
Mel?
Oh, man. How y'all feeling today?
It's going well. Like we said, winding down finally. We had AP on the podcast. We had Orees back on the podcast. We had so much to talk about, but we forgot to talk about how Vegas went, man. How was that?
Oh, man. Dang. Yeah, we did talk about that. I just realized that. Yo.
Yeah, man. That was dope.
Vegas was too lit, man. Like, I literally, the first, how many days we were there? We were there for four days.
Mm-hmm.
I probably slept maybe 6 hours.
The whole fucking trip.
The whole trip, yeah. The whole, bro. You want to
success?
Talk about,
I mean, that might be a good thing or a bad
thing.
It's
great.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's great because, like, literally, you got a bunch of like-minded people there. You know what I mean? And everybody wants to do something at every single time of the day and night. So literally, if you went to sleep, you missed something. And I wasn't trying to miss nothing. So it was lit, man. You know, met some really, really good people. You know, made some really, really great music. A lot of it's going to be dropping probably next year, most likely.
Dope.
Yeah, man, we're ready for another trip, honestly.
Yeah. And that was the first time you guys actually met, like, face to face, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we were actually doing Elite Millionaire calls for a year, you know, just politicking, understanding investing, understanding the business, understanding each other, you know, building a relationship. And then, yeah, man, we just did the retreat. And it was love. It was love. Literally, it felt like I knew them already when we got there.
Oh, yeah.
It was great, man.
That's dope. It's different collaborative, creative energy, too, when you are with someone bouncing, you know what I mean, energy off of each other in comparison to having a piece sent over already, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. Because you actually can feel the person's energy when you're there. You know, it's different from like you... Oh yeah, I did my song, and then I'm going to send it to a Reese, and he'll go ahead and put his verse on it. But when you're there in the studio, you're like, okay, that's how he comes up with his rhymes. Okay, that's his energy he has when he's in the studio. You know, Reese is a very, very great, great. I don't even want to say performer, but I guess you could say performer in the studio because he really, really like puts emphasis in his words when he raps, and I like the way Reese raps, man.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like the difference of a spitter to like an MC, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like someone who can kind of control the crowd over to someone who could just kind of recite the precise, you know, phonetic flow kind of, you know what I mean?
Right, absolutely, yeah. And then that's another thing too, that, you know, you see everybody's different way of, you know, getting to the same thing, you know what I mean? And it's cool to watch the creativity flow through someone's brain, you know, because like everybody has their own style, and you can kind of pick out, you know, who was which kind of style after, because the crazy thing was, like I said, nobody knew anybody. But then by like the third night, we had already had people matched up with songs to do with each other because we understood each other's style. You know what I mean? So it was great. Like everything just was laid out so dope. Like it really was.
That's tight.
That's what's up, man. That's cool. Yeah, Zach and I, we used to be in a rap group called the A Boys, man. We never really went anywhere. We never really went anywhere. We get it, bro.
I definitely messed around with that and threw that completely off because I ended up joining the Air Force. But I know for a while that we were really talking about that. You know, me and Jerizy and Proper, we all worked together. I think there were a couple other heads that were in that. Francis might have been a part of that too.
I think Sal was he was making beats at the time.
Sal was trying to make the beats, audio. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, that was
you had a group or something, or
we were trying, we were just shooting shit, just joking about it, and then Jerezy was like, "No, let's do this," and then we're like, all right, and then so Sal went and got the MPC, and then I think Proper was getting into the software.
Yeah.
And we were gonna start doing it, and then I joined the Air Force, and then it just kind of dissolved, but it was there for a little bit.
So what were you guys' rap names?
We
were calling ourselves the A Boys.
The A ones?
The A Boys, because we worked at this office space called the Atrium, so we were just like, fucking A Boys.
That's creative, hey.
We're driving the first thing we think of, Atrium. Oh fuck, A Boys. With Z, obviously.
But granted, I was really into the Beastie Boys back then, so that's probably where it came from.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
You're trying to spit fast like them too, or
just you know what I mean? They were just kind of like Odd Future, but not Odd Future. You know what I mean? Like a weird kind of brand type of rap group, kind of mixing electric, rock, and hip hop type shit. You know what I mean?
Right. I heard of Beastie Boys before.
Yeah. But yeah, Zach left, and then it ended up becoming Andrew started rapping, and Jermaine kept going into it, and then we met Patrick, and he started rapping too, and we formed into A Boys turned into ESP. Extra sensory perception. Yeah, but it stands for anything. We made it like Odd Future or Wolfgang Kill 'Em All. We'll just keep making up acronyms, making up meanings as they go, and just have fun with it. So extra sexy people, extra whatever. Just make up whatever you want. You know what I mean? Just change it depending on what the mood is or what the current climate is. So yeah, it's funny. And plus, spiritually, music and frequencies is kind of like ESP, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a hint to that too. So
yeah, you right, yeah.
Trying to mix into that shit, you know what I mean?
I was in a little group too, back when I kind of first started. We were the Marley gang.
Okay.
And that's tough.
We rapped about, smoking a lot, and we were this is the time in my life where I just get fucked up a lot. You know what I mean? So we were just on our love life, smoke weed, live happy type shit. But we were a raw rap. You know what I mean? Rap, Mm-hmm. And I was Mel Marley at the time.
Okay.
And then my boy was Floss Marley. And then another boy was Mugga Marley. We were just the Marley boys, you know what I mean? Whatever our name was, Marley at the end of it. And we actually made 2 albums. We made a 420 album and a 520 album. I forget what year it was.
That makes sense.
These songs were dope, man. We made some really, really good songs. It was 5 of us, and we just all just made a bunch of random songs. But these songs were pretty cool. We never monetized them or anything. Mm-hmm. But we performed in Philly. We performed in a couple places out here in Violin and stuff like that. But, we really didn't understand anything about the money side of it at the time. But, eventually we just kind of all fell off from each other from it. But that was fun.
Zach, what was your rap name?
I hadn't had one yet, dude. I was saying,
I haven't heard Zach flow. Zach, did you ever have? We don't have anything recorded from Zach, so
really? Nothing because I left. That's why. So I remember I was sitting there when I was in boot camp, and we surprisingly had some time, to ourselves, after we were doing all the BS, playing the game over there in boot camp. But I would sit down and try to write, and it just didn't feel like it was creative enough for me. I'm laying there in a bunk, dude, with 60 dudes. And so I was if I was doing that, it was taking time away from writing to my loved ones. But when I first committed to the Air Force, and I was I'm going to spend boot camp, I'm just going to write, and I had enough time, but it was just enough to just write to family members. So I never really got into it. I never fully committed to rapping, but I always appreciated the flows and music, obviously the stuff we were listening to. But my first introduction to hip hop was Outkast, and it was from my dad. Surprisingly, he's not big into hip hop, but that was the first hip hop act that he was like, "Yo, have you heard of them?" And I was like, "Hey, you've heard of them? That's crazy." And so I remember he bought Stankonia and had it on cassette, and his vehicle at the time only had cassette. So I think we played that till it broke. That's how me and my dad bonded over it. So like with rap, I was hooked because it kind of created that relationship and strengthened it between me and my dad. So I just never had the time to commit. So I didn't have a name or a flow or any of that stuff. But who knows?
He has bars written down, it sounds like. Right.
I got a little bit of bars somewhere. I'll be in the shower too trying to think of that stuff again. Because like I was really thinking about it. Like when I was with Sal, and he bought his MPC, he was messing around. Like we would just, be goofing. Yeah. And I'd be catching the itch a little bit to do it. But yeah, no, I don't know. There's somewhere. I got some creativity in here somewhere. I just gotta, tap into it.
Yeah. No, yeah. Reese and I are talking about making a Cave Bentley mixtape. So
yeah.
Watch out, look out, man.
ASM's spitting too, man. I heard some of his stuff. He's sounding good.
Cave Bentley collaboration.
Cave Bentley. Yeah, I always went by Jerezy. Funny enough, my first track that I put out was around the MySpace days.
Wow.
Guess what it was? It was a diss track, and guess to who, bruh? Guess to who? To the fucking Stingray that got Steve Irwin, bro.
Shut the fuck.
Yeah, that shit went viral. Everyone's like, I fuck with this dude. Fuck that Stingray. Some people were like, you should have killed a Stingray, bro. It was just being natural.
That's so funny.
You would do some shit like that.
It's like, man, you fucking fuck the Stingrays. It was on the instrumental.
You gotta send that to me, bro.
Bro.
Log into MySpace again.
Yeah, I was in the MySpace days, so I just kept going Jerezy, So
MySpace days were definitely different type of days, man.
Yeah.
I feel like the internet is just on steroids right now. Bro. It really is. Like back in the MySpace days, you get on, see what Joe Reezy was doing on his page. He might have a dope song on there. It's getting hot in here,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then after that, you just got the hell off and did whatever you did with your life.
Yeah, literally.
You can literally spend all day scrolling. All day.
And everything's embedded onto the page, so you don't have to like click different, tabs and shit. Right now, like you go into some people's setups, and it's like, God damn, you got 55 fucking tabs over here. Like, right, no wonder you function the way you do.
How much is about you, really? Like,
oh man,
bro, literally, man.
It's crazy, man. Definitely is
crazy. Speaking of music and Outkast, bro, like I was telling people, I went on a run, and I usually go on runs late at night on some Floyd Mayweather shit because Floyd Mayweather's my favorite fighter, and he likes to kind of run at night, when they're sleeping, I'm working type shit. Yeah. And so I want to listen to an album that kind of pumped me up, So I was looking through the new Drake. I was looking at the new Andre 3000. I'm like, all right, let me play this new Drake. But the shit was like fucking 4 tracks, on top of the album that he already made, so it wasn't that long. And I run about 4 miles. So I put on the Andre 3000 album, and keep in mind, this is at like 2 a.m. and I'm trying to get amped up to run, right? Have you guys heard that album?
I tried to start listening to it, couldn't get through it.
I haven't.
But I do want to try.
Oh, you don't understand then, bro. Like, it's all just like lo-fi flute music.
It's
like
flute, right? Yeah.
For 4 minutes, 2 tracks in, I was waiting for this fool to rap, and it was just like,
yeah, he's not spitting, dude. Yeah,
words never came out. Like,
dude, I ended up floating home instead of running home.
Lo-fi music.
It is funny, bro. Let me read you some of the fucking track names to this album, just to put you guys.
That's gonna be like
what you hear,
like elevator music, dude. Like that's what it's made for.
Yeah,
like
really.
he's gonna license that out to elevators.
Right.
Or like called waiting.
I actually fucks with it. Like if I knew what the context was, you know what I mean? But to work out too, that wasn't the vibes.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, the first track is called I Swear I Really Wanted to Make a Rap Album.
What?
Yeah, bro.
Dre, man.
Oh man! And one of them is like that one time I turned into a panther in Hawaii, and I started emitting low frequency tones. Like that complete sentence was track number 3.
That's some shroom shit. Like he was bugged out, bitch.
Yeah.
And then shit. Like hell yeah.
And so I thought to myself on the way home, I was like, man, I think Andre 3000 being really creative is a psyop, bro, because I don't know about this shit. Not to talk shit on Andre 3000.
You just totally missed the mark on that one. Huh?
Damn.
Yeah, no,
it's interesting.
I just feel like that kind of goes along with like when these musicians and these artists like to get to a certain spot in their career where like they just want to tap into whatever makes them feel creative, and they just are able to jump into it, and because of who they are, like it's easily accepted. And you know, some people might not like it. Some people I have heard that really enjoyed it. So you know, they're comfortable in themselves and they're comfortable in their music. They're not making hits for radios and you know, like to sell records. It's just to be them, and that's what they're pushing out. So I mean, I for sure respect it, but whether or not I can get through it, I don't know.
You guys see the track names?
Let me make my
Bipolar disorder. Daughter wears a 3000 shirt embroidered.
What the heck?
Dreams once buried beneath the dungeon floor, slowly sprouting to undying gardens. Have you heard that one song called "Dreams Once Buried Beneath the Dungeon"?
All right, the fucking titles.
That's too long. Yeah,
bro. No. Hey Siri, play the slang word "pussy" rolls off the tongue.
3 seconds. Those are the bars for his tracks, man.
Yeah, I wish I knew the context of it now. Now I'm curious. Like, where did he get those very specific ass titles?
Yeah, I start reading some interviews.
Word up.
I need to see the video. I need to see the video, bro.
Yeah. That's so weird. But yeah, man, you made a good point. Like, you can tell like from the beginning stages when artists start rapping, and then once they get like very, very hardcore mainstream, there's a big change in the way they deliver, the way they rap, the way everything go. Like we were just talking about earlier, you know, they have a bunch of ghostwriters for them. That's what makes them dynamically change a lot of their style, you know, is that. But then, you know, there might also be some other things that they might be expressing that they've never got a chance to express on a smaller platform. So, you know, that does help as well.
Yeah.
Who's the first artist that comes to mind when you think of that situation for you guys? Man. I think about Lupe, but he kind of fought it. You know what I mean? As much as he had.
I feel like when you say that, when you ask that question, you ask about artists who are still actually doing it and pursuing. And for me, I think Drake is probably definitely one of them. Because if you listen to the way he rapped before, like when he first came out with Lil Wayne, like he was raw Drake. And then he just became like very, very like elusive and pushy, you know. Yeah. But then another one I think about, who else do we have out there? Got a lot of them, really. Shoot.
Before we went on, we were talking about Kanye.
Kanye, yeah, Kanye.
Like he's one of them too.
Yeah, like I don't know, you have a lot of them, and you just see the change in them, man. I don't know, you hear the change in the way they sing their songs, and everything just changes. I don't know.
Oh, you know who's a good one? I was gonna say Wayne, but even more than Wayne.
Lil Wayne. I was gonna say Lil Wayne too, but I feel
Snoop Dogg, right? Snoop Dogg is fuck.
Snoop Dogg. I just feel like Lil Wayne just kind of fell off of doing mixtapes. That was his problem. Like he was crazy raw when he was doing mixtape, but then when he went mainstream, he just kind of like he was still raw, but everybody who listened to Wayne, mixtape Wayne, knew the difference. Like you know what I mean? But
because he had that kind of thing where like he got the creativeness too, like where he did that rock band, right? Where he got into his rock music for a little bit. So like that's kind of on the same line too of he got to a certain point in his career where he wanted to just express himself and do what he wanted to do, and that wasn't well received because everyone wanted mixtape Wayne, and it just wasn't the same.
It did do well though. The numbers did do well on that album.
Yeah.
You know, but again, it's, you know, maybe he was tired of doing rap, done it for that amount of time. It's like, you know what, let me switch it up. Or again, maybe it was just part of the ghostwriting that they wanted him, you know, to take part of or whatever. I don't know. Maybe someone wrote the songs for him. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting because let's think about art. Like as an artist, you try to hit different spectrums of life. You're not just funneling the partying, you know what I mean, and being gangster and being cool all the time, you know what I mean? So as an artist, like you're entitled to do whatever the fuck you want, you know what I mean? And it's interesting because you become a slave to the audience sometimes, you know? I think the reason Andre 3000 said he put out this album, hold up, there's one title that says Gandhi, Dalai Lama, your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, dash Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and John Wayne Gacy. That's a title of one of his songs.
Those are like very, very opposing people.
Wow. Those are like the two extremes.
Like,
opposite ends.
Popped out. I didn't have that like saved up for this podcast, even though I would have.
That's like very Jersey.
It just popped up.
Wow.
Look it up. That is fucking strange as fuck. But he said he put this album out because he's like, I'm like in my 40s. What the fuck am I gonna rap about? You know what I mean? I'm just gonna make art. You know,
that is true.
And it's cool because as a rapper, right, aren't the best songs the ones that are kind of abstract, but you know what I mean? It's art that you can kind of assume your own meaning to it, and it can be whatever you want.
Yeah. You kind of, like you said, build a bunch of different ideas and put them together in your own idea. Like even my music, I know you've heard some of my music. Like a lot of them don't sound the same, and that's on purpose because I don't feel the same every time I do a song.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not just gonna put one-dimensional music out. Like I don't feel one-dimensional every day. So.
Yeah, bro. Like you're an artist, man. I remember the first podcast I said you guys are rappers, but you said, you know, you're more of an artist, and for sure, I heard your music.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of your music, bro.
Thanks.
You're super dope, and as a person who makes different content, like also us, you know, we talk about conspiracy theories, we talk about sports, different shit. Like you see the metrics of what kind of content, you know what I mean, gets a lot more hits and what kind of content doesn't. Absolutely. And it's interesting because sometimes when you're creating it, what feels good doesn't really get well received, opposed to like some bullshit that you put out.
Yeah.
And you all of a sudden hit. And a good example of that, and one of the artists I feel like changed when they became mainstream was Eminem, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Apparently when he was in the Slim Shady, or not Slim Shady, Slim Shady, the Hi, My Name Is, it was like a Hail Mary. He was really sick before that, but him being like, fuck it, I'm gonna act weird and just rap in a weird voice ended up becoming a hit to the mainstream, and that kind of opened doors for him, weirdly enough, you know what I mean? So as a person who makes different content, do you try to, because you're also spiritual, do you kind of try to take this stoic perspective towards it of trying to disconnect yourself from how it's received, or how do you navigate that?
So the funny thing about that is that was probably one of the hardest things for me to do. Like I've made music for a long time, but one of the hardest things to do is to express how you're feeling without feeling judged by everyone else for feeling that way. And music is one of the biggest things where you do that. Like everybody expresses all kind of feelings on music. You express love, you express hate, you express dissing someone, you know, you have all kind of feelings going on in a song. So even when you write a song, like it's so hard to, I remember I would start to write a song and be like, damn, that don't sound right. Or damn, somebody might not like that. But if you literally do that, you will literally never make a song. Never. You'll never make a song. So I had to get over that hurdle of people need to like what I hear. And I had to switch it to, I like what I'm saying. If they like it, they'll listen. That's the big difference right there. Because then what that does is I'm not afraid to say what I want on a song. It makes me more comfortable with creating a more creative song now because I'm not more restricted of, oh, they might not like this, or they might not like me saying it like that. No, I don't care, because somebody in this 8 billion people that are on this planet will like it and hear it. You know what I mean? And then that's another thing too. It's like, I don't think that good things get received in a bad way. I just think that bad things are more highlighted in this world, but good things definitely are received, because even like because I'm going into like this kind of like transition right now where I'm getting away from like the more lower vibration songs where I'm talking about, you know, sex and stuff like that. And I'm moving towards talking about more positive songs. That song got probably most of the plays that is on my thing right now, because it's a positive song. And I think that the people nowadays in society are yearning for more positivity because of all the bullshit that's going on in the world. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So again, not to make it, you know, long and drawn out, but especially if you're a positive person, if you believe something and say it with a true enough manner, the people that have enough common sense are going to agree with you. Why would you want somebody dumb to agree with you anyway? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, I don't know. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It reminds me of this parable. But before I mention that, I mean, think about freestyling, and you kind of have to be in that flow zone. Imagine thinking about what other people are thinking while
right. You'll never.
Oh shit, fuck.
She'll start stuttering.
I see somebody black guy, or I see about a fat person, like,
hold up.
Say it. It sounds hard. Everybody likes it. You know what I mean? If you say it and they like it, they'll agree with you, and the whole crowd goes wild.
Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a hard hurdle for me to get over.
That parable was, think about birds, right? Birds just fucking sing. And if birds don't give a fuck if it's fucking 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and they're singing, and people are like, God damn it, like, shut the fuck up, birds. Birds are just like, you know what I mean? And some people think it's beautiful. Some people, it's more of a, we had MMA Shred on our podcast, and we talked about haters, and he's like, you know what? It just shows you that there's a lot of negative people out there. People that feel negative. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
you're fat, they're going to say you should be skinny. You're skinny, they're going to say you should be bigger. You're short, you need to be taller. You're too tall. You're too broke. Got too much money. You got this. It don't matter, bro. It really don't.
But it's funny because when we try to have meetings on our team, even like at the end of the day, you know, some people try to leverage your brand to be a business. You know what I mean? So when it comes to that vantage point, the numbers start to make, you know what I mean, a little more. It becomes more valuable than the artist perspective of, I'm not doing it for the numbers, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it kind of reminds me of that line by J. Cole where he's like, it's like Sony signed Basquiat, give it all he got. Now you don't paint the same. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy how things come full circle. Not talked about, you know what I mean? The business side and our artist side, because there's a lot of, and getting into podcasting too, you know what I mean? Like, we got into this podcast just to talk shit, not to necessarily be like, we're the main conspiracy theorists. You should get your conspiracy theory for us, or we're the main sports. You know what I mean?
Sports, like, yeah. I'm not an analyst.
We're just talking shit. So sometimes it's weird because everywhere you go, that's competitive. You know what I mean? So sometimes like people, like, you know, we collab with some conspiracy theories. I'm not naming any names, but like they kind of, you know what I mean, think that they take it as a threat, or they're like, they try to think it like you're trying to take away their credibility. It's like, nah, bro, like, I'm just trying to figure it out. Yeah, I don't even care that much. I'm trying to do some Marvel shit or talk about martial arts on the next one. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get in my own lane. Whoever wants to get in the car with me is gonna come. Like, I'm trying to step on your toes, bro. Like, it's a very competitive world we live in.
Yeah. I mean, I try to just change that perspective and see it as like Goku and Vegeta competitive, you know what I mean? Where it's more fun than taking it as a threat, you know what I mean? Vegeta takes it as a threat, you know what I mean?
Vegeta's trying
Goku's like, just, you know, maybe take this some steroids. It'll be a little harder fight for me. You know?
It's like, let's just spar, man. You know? Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
When I had AP on, I did ask the panel what their top 3 rappers were, who their top 3 rappers were. And since, you know what I mean, you guys are on it, and ask you guys. And I feel like it's a good question to kind of get a summation of what your rap taste is like. So I wanted to ask you guys, and I'll start because I changed mine. Kanye was in mine, but he doesn't really rap his raps. You know what I mean? And there was a discussion about artists and rappers, because you talk about rappers, it's freestyle. You know what I mean? It's like my bars, and it's not, hey, you got the verse, bro. You know, I need this right now. I got performance tonight.
Yeah. Like Drake's an artist. Yeah.
That's why Drake was never in my top 3, even though I think he's, you know, his music is pretty dope. But my top 3, I would say, is Lupe Fiasco, Lil Wayne, and bro, not a lot of people talk about this. Not a lot of people talk about Lupe Fiasco first and foremost, but not a lot of people put DMX in the top 3.
Yeah, you're right. I don't
DMX is kind of DMX. I feel like is
people
Pac
forget.
Tier, you know what I mean? He's Pac tier. I feel like
I don't hear a lot of people put DMX in their top.
You know, surprisingly, the most DMX talk, the most people I heard with DMX talk was in the military. Like that's what everyone was like. You need to pay attention to DMX. Like he could spit it. And I was like, oh, I just remember him yelling and barking. Like I never listened to it. You know, just me getting hyped. Cause I was a kid. I was little.
Don't do it, dog. Don't do it, dog. It's just not working.
Yeah, so that is a good one.
Let it break.
I don't know. So mine, I'm just gonna put Lil Wayne first and foremost. He's always been my favorite rapper, and always will be, probably. My second one, I'm gonna have to go with Eminem, only because I like his storytelling. I like the fact that he can put a song into a story, and you will listen to that song as if he's telling a real story. You know what I mean? I like that. And I'm juggling between 2, between Jay-Z, but I don't want to go so cliche because I feel like Jay-Z is very cliche. And
just say it.
All right, I'll go with Jay-Z because he's come on, it's Jay-Z. Like he's the top tier. Everybody knows him. Everybody goes to him for every. You know what I mean? Like so that's I think he made a great name for himself too. So those are my 3.
When rappers reach a tier where they're able to just bypass the writing phase and just pull shit out, I think you're in a different like belt system if you're talking about martial arts, right?
It's not even gold. It's not even. It's just like you're just the upper echelon. Like
it's one of those fucking like those martial art masters that talk about chi, and you see him moving stones and shit with energy. And it's like, oh shit! Like, what is this guy now?
Hell yeah!
They're spitting.
You never knew. You have to train like 50 years for it.
So for me, I think you guys named 2 of mine, Lupe and Eminem, for sure. When we're talking about just like rapping, because I also have Kanye as like probably my favorite hip hop artist. Just like when his albums came out, like I can go back and listen to them. I was at different points, of me growing up, at the right place, right time. But in terms of rapping, Lupe, Eminem, and then Biggie for me. I remember always being somebody who grew up right here in California. Tupac always got the love, but I was always like, I think Biggie sounds better. Like
I was going to say Jay-Z or Pac. So
yeah,
and you said,
I mean, Pac's close there too. As I've gotten older, like I didn't appreciate Pac when I was younger, but as I got older, like started listening to his stuff again and really paying attention. Pac has slowly climbed up on my internal rankings, but for me, it'd be Lupe, Eminem, and Biggie.
Right.
You seen that video of I think it's Biggie and Pac rapping like in front of each other at a table. It's pretty crazy.
I don't think I've seen that.
But do you guys think that this begs the question I asked them, and it's funny, bro. When I asked them top 3 rappers, fucking Andrew was thinking about it hard. Jermaine was thinking about it hard. Meanwhile, Andrew has Nas tattooed on his arm, and Jermaine's son's name is J. Cole, and they're like, I'm like, what?
No idea.
What, bro? Let's start with Nas and J. Cole.
Damn.
Yeah.
You could at least go first. Like everybody knows your first favorite rapper.
I know.
But
hey, Andrew, check your own, bro. Oh, yeah.
You got a cheat sheet? Oh yeah, no.
Cheat sheet.
Do you guys think that like freestyling makes the art in the rapping environment makes or breaks the artist? You know what I mean? Because we talked about the freestyles where you're reading it off. You know what I mean? Or freestyles that you hear in the bar eventually in a song. You're like, oh man, that was just kind of a preview for that bar. You know what I mean? It wasn't really a freestyle. So what do you guys think it makes or break the artist in the rap environment?
I think that it's hard to say because there are very good writers, you know, like a lot of the guys who do like the rap battles. They write. Yeah. They don't actually necessarily spit off the top. They all write. And they write some very, very, very lyrical shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like, to say that would break a rapper, like, I don't think so. I don't think that would make or break a rapper just because you can or can't freestyle. Like, I think that the art is in creating, is just in the creating. And however it gets created, it's created, you know? I don't know.
Right.
That's a good question.
What do you think, Zach?
So, I mean, I wouldn't say make or break because it's kind of like there's space for both of those concepts. Like, you know, just because someone's better at freestyling than like composing a track and like factoring the lyrics into the beat, you know, and doing all that, like, it doesn't make them less than. And even if one's better than the other, I feel like that doesn't make, you know, one superior than the other because, like I said, there's space for both. So definitely not make or break, but when you talk about like how you brought up Lil Wayne, like he had just that magic recipe and still has it to freestyle, but like also have it like to where it's not like it doesn't have to be a cappella. Like if it's to a beat, like he's feeling the beat and he's like threading the needle almost between, you know, that fabric of creating those songs that, you know, were hits too. And he had like that magical potion, that magical blend, dude, of just like wordsmith and just with the beat, dude. It was incredible when he was at his peak. And then you have someone like Kanye who was writing, but like his beats were almost enhancing his lyrics.
Yeah.
And the production value. So I think there's room for both. I wouldn't say it makes or breaks it though.
I think if you're trying to label it as something, then it does. You know what I mean? What I think is gangster, if someone's an artist and, you know, they put on a beat and they try to make you rap and you're like, nah, dog, I don't do this, you know? And I think it's funny that even in that level, in the top level, peer pressure stuff kind of, you know what I mean, still goes on.
Still exists, yeah.
Right? Yeah, like who does it? Was it Lil Uzi Vert or Lil Yachty? He was on one of these talk shows and they were trying to make him freestyle and they're like, what the fuck?
Uzi, yeah.
He's like, why are you putting these like stupid beats on? This isn't even my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seen that one.
Yeah. So in hindsight, if you're marketing as a freestyle and you have written, you know what I mean, and they're written freestyles, but it's a performance. I don't know if you guys know Iron Solomon. He was like a battle rapper back in the days when they used to battle for money back in like Brooklyn and stuff. I'll put some stuff on. Like, he was killing fools, bro. Like I said, I'll put something on and you guys will see. But later on, it came out that he was writing his shit. You know what I mean? You see how you're selling a freestyle, but you find out I feel like there's something about tricking the customers that make the customers feel like, fuck.
Yeah, definitely.
Compared to be like, I'm an artist, man, and you're not gonna like Travis Scott ain't gonna freestyle. What the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it kind of depends how you sell it, but I wanted to pull this clip out because this is fucking funny as fuck. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Drake was invited to freestyle on Funkmaster Flex. It's like if you're hearing this and not watching it, it sounds dope, right?
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. But you don't realize that he's really famous. But
like before they started filming,
like a lot of the Funkmaster Flex, they already have written before they do that.
Yeah, because you know you're going into it, right? Yeah, because you don't want to ruin it, you know, because there's that pressure of, I know they're gonna do this.
Yeah, you don't want to do this. Yeah.
And like Sway too, right? Because I remember I heard Lil Dicky was on Sway, and the bars that he was spitting was like from 2 different songs that was on like his first album.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it was before his album came out. So technically, like, it wasn't released yet, but
so it sounded good.
And so like, was it a freestyle that he just then like brought to his album, or did he already have it written down and use it on Sway, and then was like, oh, I'm gonna pull it? Like, so just depends.
Yeah.
Yo, he switches the beat up to some funky shit, and Drake's like, oh.
Right here. That was Aubrey, though.
Right, that's Aubrey.
That was so Aubrey, though. That's so Aubrey.
Look at his face.
He came off the set of Degrassi.
He was dope, bro. Like Room for Improvement days.
That's what Mel was saying, though. Like when he was first coming up, he was hungry and he needed to rap like this to stay with Wayne, and Wayne was at the top. So Drake had to bring it, and that's where it came from. That's where a lot of people fell in love with him. And then he started changing a little bit because he's got comfortable and got in his feelings and wanted to put out what he felt was himself, which is great because that's him being an artist and it's authentic. But then you get clowned for it and you get memed and all that shit. So he was very fascinating to watch come up and then like where he's gone.
Despite this, I thought he was a good rapper up until I found out he had ghostwriters like openly. Then I was like, oh man, like now he's just an artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is rare.
Most artists nowadays do.
There he gets caught off guard.
Just grinding it out, you know what I'm saying? I've been on the road really, like doing these shows every night. So I'm coming. Ooh.
It's like, what's this BPM?
Right.
I was looking for it.
What's the Wi-Fi, bro?
He waiting for the text message to come through.
It's like, man.
Rap, bro. Send me a rap.
All right.
He's in the notes right now.
Yeah, it is.
We come back. Can we do it? Can we come back?
Yeah, he's definitely writing that.
I'm gonna get him.
I promise I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, I promise.
I'm gonna find that BPM.
It's interesting because, with these new rappers right now, it's too soon to put him in this tier. But I think J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are up there, man.
Oh, no, they definitely up there. Mm-hmm. They definitely are up there. Yeah,
for sure.
They got up there quick too.
I just think they need a longer catalog to actually be like solidified. You know what I mean? Because they could definitely, drop off right now as great artists,
right.
But like, I don't think it'll be like a Hall of Fame type of thing, But if they
stop now,
catalog, then they'll definitely stay up there. But out of the two, what do you guys think out of the two though? Kendrick or Cole?
First of all, that fucking album needs to come out, bro. Right? Dog, you know that one song, the fucking sample that everyone has on the phone? I think it's called Temptation. It's the song with J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. And the only version that's out is like recorded from a radio. So it's like a shitty version of it. And it has like millions of plays because that's the only version that's released right now. But man, that's a tough question. Yeah. That's the difference of Nas and Jay-Z. You know what I mean? There's like the difference of Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah.
There's like there's a creative flow.
Like definitely like rivals. Like,
yeah.
like Goku and Vegeta. Like, Yeah,
right.
You know? Yeah.
What do you think, Zach? J. Cole?
So I mean, I feel like I get more into the overall like music of Kendrick, like mixing with the lyrics, but I feel like J. Cole has a slight edge on like the lyrics. And for me it's very, very similar to Tupac and Biggie, but it's like they're opposite coasts now.
Right.
Because like I feel like I vibe more to Kendrick's songs more so than J. Cole's, but J. Cole's has me like thinking and like getting in my feelings and like you know, seeing where I'm at in life.
Like Kendrick got the vibe, and
yeah,
he can still say some real shit behind the vibe.
mm-hmm.
But J. Cole, the way he delivers it and the way he makes it like solid, like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd go with like I think I would go with J. Cole.
But what's great is like both are good. It's like it's not a wrong answer almost.
It's hard to just lean towards one, but
yeah.
What do you think, Reese?
Man, you know what? It's hard because I agree. There's a reason I like Pusha T, just because the delivery is straight in your face. You ain't got to look my shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there is a way of delivering, and there's, you know what I mean? People like Lupe Fiasco, you have to look his shit up. You have to read it, man. You have to know what he's talking about because it goes over your head. Sometimes Kendrick Lamar goes over your head, but he's like one of those occult texts. If you read it, it's like, oh shit, that meant like different shit. You know what I mean?
Stuff, yeah.
And I think J. Cole's more of like a poet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm gonna say J. Cole when it comes to, you know what I mean, like rap, because it's weird. There's hip hop and there's rap, right? Like, it's so fragmented now. Like, I have to know what kind of conversation I'm in order to talk, because like there's the hip hop. Oh, that ain't hip hop. Like, what do you mean, bro? You know what I mean?
I find hip hop. Like, I feel like everybody definitely have their own mix and ideas of what every genre is, and there's so many genres now out. So it's just like you mix all of them together.
Right, and I think I also judge an artist as far as the quantity that they're putting out, and J. Cole has been kind of more consistent than Kendrick. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It is true.
With good quality, like he hasn't dropped down in quality. I feel like so that tells you how he is, or whether or not he just has a bunch of tracks that he's just releasing. Because as an artist, you know that sometimes you could be on a vacation, but you're releasing shit in the audience.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, man, he's in the studio right now.
Yeah, they can smell it.
Yeah. So
I mean, so I'll also say too, I've seen both of them live, and they're both like even with like live performances too. They're both really good.
Yeah,
that sounds dope.
Yeah,
I'll probably definitely like seeing them live. Definitely.
Yo,
so real.
It's interesting because in that class of rappers, it was Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. Well, Kendrick Lamar kind of came later, but Drake kind of separated because he's more of an artist now. You know what I mean? But Big Sean used to be in that conversation, right? But
in that conversation too, yeah.
I remember there were also talks that Drake kind of took Big Sean style, and there was kind of low key beef between them. But it's funny, man. Following Big Sean for a while, he has a lot of breakup music, man. I'm glad that guy's happily married and has a family.
He's settled down, he's stable.
Yeah, he has a lot of
I don't fuck with you.
Yeah, he's in a good place in his life.
Like that last album he did, it was a good album. The one where he had Nipsey Hussle on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. That was a good album, but it was a lot of sad songs on it. He was upset on that.
Yeah, I mean, like earlier in our conversation, he has songs that we like sprinkled in some of his albums, but he makes music to express how he's going, what he's going through. So, shout out to that. But before we get off the rap topic, I wanted to show you this fucking freestyle rapper, bro, Iron Solomon. I don't know if you guys are into freestyle raps, but you're about to hear
I've never heard about
the greatest freestyle rapper ever.
Tails, I go first. You flow second and flow worse. A broke ass bum who couldn't afford no shirt. I'm a beast that's rare. Attack the beat and tear. I could cook a fried egg on the grease in your hair. Watch the homie fail. You know me well. from a lonely cell. I'll drag him through the concrete street by his ponytail. Fucking coward. I spit crazy forever. You look like Cheech and Chong had a baby together. Hey, torch lit, you should give up and forfeit. He ain't rocking his shirt because he couldn't afford it. And we met outside at the Virgin Mega Store, which is ironic because his wife is a non-virgin mega whore. And what's more, you need to get off the topic. His rap shit, put it down. Please, homie, stop it. You got the type of flow you should be embarrassed of. That shit been played out a while ago, like wearing lugs. You and your man
He's wearing lugs,
a pair of doves. You just repeat what he says like a parrot does. This is the type of breeze through battle that Aaron loves. He thought that he could fade me because my hair is buzzed. Your boys who tell you that you're nice, well, they're on drugs. And they'll reconsider that shit after the heroin buzz.
Whoa. Yeah. One half of the bad seeds, flames.
So there's a good contrast.
He's gonna know it's
of style.
real. When I creep and I show him still. I be with them soldiers. We don't sleep till the morning fails. Like it's leave in the morning chills. Run deep while I'm on the hill. I see everything between these beady eyes up on my grill. Believe me, I was born to kill. Leave me with my sword and shield. You frighten the beef, throwing ice in your teeth. It's easy to just pour in your grill. Liquor, I'm way beyond the lead. How the hell he plans to run if I bend his fucking legs up way behind his head? Temptation, that's a crime in your head. Flame's the place you lie when you're dead. Don't be patiently waiting to be a patient that just lies in the bed. Be patient that just lie in your bed. They have to take his face and replace it with the skin on the side of his leg.
Right?
Don't agitate flames. I just get space in the fucking virus spread. Ask for mistakes, I'll make him pray we don't get his mama instead. It's too late to say that the drama's dead. If the semi sparks, him and his man's gone. It be so many parts, we have to soak the fucking blood up using tampons. This ain't a Ku Klux Klan song. If you white power, we got white powder with. Ooh, that's damn strong. If you knew, I'm the damn boss. So it ain't shit to us. Put my fist in cups, I'ma chew my hands off. We could use fisticuffs, bruising his damn jaw. Just give your strip to us, you're losing your land, dog. Don't ask who the van for. It's straight ridiculous. His face will look like syphilis, oozing that tan sauce. Don't tell me who you got. Nigga, this ain't show and tell. I bang out to the moon drop and then fuck around in snow and hell. I used to break the bleachers, moving on my snow and pails. But I could take his features, make each piece grow and swell. This ain't no amateur night shit, but I could flip. Bang this nigga out while I balance my ice pick. I used to balance a night shift and a day with Nietzsche. Now niggas say that I'm nice cause I got away with speech. I ain't still no gun, but I got away with heats that'll peel his onion till it's coming out his face and cheeks.
Let's go.
He killed him.
You are fake as a bitch. I'll make your mom suck my dick while I'm taking a shit. And I won't stop until I bust nuts in her hair strands. Stand up and make her wipe my ass with her bare hands. Turn around and smack you right in the chin. Now you know what it's like to have a shit-eating grin. My squad, we all kings. This rap, you doing the wrong thing. Come on, who the fuck wears cargo shorts with drawstrings? 2005, I'm loud and I'm live. I'm 1 against 2, but I'm surrounding you guys. Come on, I'm tearing this faggot. This is what Ricky Martin would look like as a heroin addict. You really need to stop it.
He got like an Eminem song,
just quit and be gone. You need to get rid of these songs. Come on, homie, you really don't know me. I'ma send you and your whole crew home lonely. You think this guy is tough? He got that scar-sucking dick and his mouth wasn't wide enough. When he lie to stuff, you know it's the shit the world loves. This dude got the same hairdo that my girl does. You broke as fuck, can't even afford a toilet paper, you broke bitch. You gotta take a fucking shower every time you take a shit. And you know what? I don't even need to spit. 2 rounds is enough for me to beat you down. You're a huge clown. All these dudes around know that I got a new sound. Oh, you gonna spit? You now? Come on, homie, I don't think so. You ain't the Titanic, but I'm Iceberg Slim. I'll make you sink slow. You know what? I go the goodie route. If you flame, I got the ice grill to put it out. Whoa.
Yeah, he got like an Eminem flow. Like,
his name is Flame.
That's like early Marshall Mathers.
Freestyled off the dome. That's how he's like, ew.
Yeah. I show this to bring that up. First of all, there's a contrast of like, you know,
yes,
Eminem, Iron Solomon was more of like a push. You get what he's saying to the point where a casual can hear it and laugh.
Yeah.
Flames was like, hey, slow down, bro. What you say? You know, you're kind of fitting.
He wrote it because he's kind of like trying to get through it and like.
But Eminem, I feel like, was the rapper that kind of put this to light, right?
Definitely.
So I feel like it's Eminem's fault that rappers get judged on
It's his fault.
battle raps, right? Because I mean, like he kind of came complete, and it's like if you want to be a rapper, you gotta be like Eminem, because Mile came out too. So there's that competitive nature.
Really, really hard.
Yeah, battle rapping.
Yeah, bro. He was spitting, man. He was spitting. So this guy Iron Solomon, bro, it came out that he was writing his shit. So
wow.
Kind of sucks, but
how did he write that? I don't see if he wrote that. I don't see how he wrote that, because
I mean, they had to scout the other rappers, right?
Most you know what, like off the top, he was like spitting stuff that.
Yeah, he was wearing fucking
shorts with shirt on, and his hair was done like his girl's hair. Like, you know, like he's spitting stuff that was absolutely right there. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Oh, man. I mean, I also think like if you do this a lot, you just like Drake, you know, when he got caught doing the Funk Master Flex interview, that's never gonna happen again to Drake, especially at the level that he's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not gonna put himself in a position to be caught off guard like that either. And then for like on the flip side, like the host will know, like, oh, like if we air that or if we try to do that, like he's not gonna come back on the show. So like we gotta show him love and like kind of cater to the guest.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, because he's Drake. They want to.
Yeah.
They'll probably shut their shit down.
Yeah, I don't even think back then that they were trying to embarrass him though. I just felt like he just wasn't fully prepared for what he was getting into.
They played a beat. They played too many beats. He only had two. You know, he only had a bar and a half.
So they probably wasn't really. He wasn't Drake then. He was younger.
He was still Aubrey.
Sounds dope. Let's put him on there and see how he does.
Yep.
They weren't really like, oh, he's Drake. Like,
yeah. But he was still. That was probably like either right before or during the like So Far Gone era.
Yeah, I think
before.
Because I remember that. I remember when people were saying, "Oh, Drake was in the studio waiting for a text message to come through about the freestyle he was going to write." Like, I remember that because people were like, "Oh my God, Drake writes this stuff." Blah, blah, blah. Like, so yeah, I think it might have been during the So Far Gone era. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got this right here.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Eminem rap right here. I'm pretty sure he destroys this dude. Bro. I mean, it'd be surprising if this guy fucking wrecks Eminem.
You never heard that old Eminem shit?
That proof? Yeah, that's proof.
Yeah, that's proof.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's proof.
Well, cut it up. I can't hear it.
Nigga, you feeling this bitch? You talking shit and Richie Miller. Nothing more, nothing less. The first single that you drop is I Want to Be Fresh.
There's a vibe when you go in with a disadvantage. You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna kill them all. You know?
Yeah. And then, oh my God.
Ooh, I got rid of
You just always do this.
Any rapper saying those kind of rhymes in this day and age, in this period of time, trying to battle Eminem is worse than David Starr trying to battle Groove IQ, be fat and bizarre. That's why you like the difference, because you ain't got no style, especially like delivery. And I don't mean to boast. Look, my face is pale, but you look like you seen a ghost.
Even the opponent's laughing. I mean, you can never do that.
Yeah. You just admitted defeat, bro. Literally.
Give it a tone.
Yeah. The quality on that one's like kind of mid, but bro, there's some online that like if you really go back, like I remember I used to listen to them on LimeWire because you know how people used to download random shit on there, dude. I was listening to old freestyles on LimeWire, bro. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I think there's a whole like the Rap Olympics, right? In 1997.
So I don't remember what it was.
I think that was that one.
But
it's crazy. So being in this industry, do you get like asked to freestyle pretty often?
Sometimes, I mean, like, but
all right, drop the beat.
I mean, but for the most part, like, no, because most people know that I write my music. Like,
Mm.
I don't freestyle. Like, if you wanted me to, you know, spit something off the top of the head, it's going to be written. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's something that I have, you know, and that's just honest. But I'm an artist. I like doing rap. I like doing pop. I like doing rock. I like doing emo music. I like doing fucking all kind of shit. So,
Mhm.
you know, I don't freestyle at all.
Yeah. I like the vibe, dude. So you're doing something right, bro, because
Appreciate it, bro.
honestly, I'm at the age where like people laugh at me, bro, but I like just listen to. I kind of fucks with the Andre 3000 album. I like flute music now. You know what I'm saying?
No, real shit. I have a playlist where it's all like lo-fi music like that, and like I'm the type of person where I like to listen to older songs and I like to listen to the lo-fi music, and sometimes I just won't listen to music. But then when I do listen to like the newer music, it's like, you know, Lil Wayne, you know, stuff like that. Like
see what they're up to now, right?
Yeah. Like his new album, The Collie Grove, with him and 2 Chainz.
Mm-hmm.
You heard that?
Yeah.
Oh man, that shit's hard. That one, and then the wait before the fire. That one's good too.
Yeah,
so, like,
he's still dope,
bro. We just like to listen to chiller music now. Like,
yeah,
especially
man.
the music in the morning, bro. I just want to peaceful sounds. I don't want to hear no suck and fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to hear all that anymore.
Right.
Maybe later in the day, you know. But no.
I have to say, bro, like, yeah, getting into rap because like I loved Eminem getting in it. So battle rap was very, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Valuable for me as a metric to judge rap. And because of that, obviously my playlist is a bunch of like aggressive cutting, you know what I mean? Like almost drill sergeant music. So I'd be listening to that shit in the morning all the way till I sleep. So maybe that kind of that might have affected me if we're talking about frequencies and programming. Yeah. But now I like calm music, you know what I mean? But yeah, listening to your music, it was a fresh taste, bro. So that's why I really enjoy it because it's fun. You could tell that you're having fun by the sound of what you're putting out. So
thank you.
Keep it up, bro. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, Why Love 2 coming out on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Why Love 1 is dope, bro. So hell yeah. Funny enough, just to segue off a rap, did you guys hear this? It was an interview. I don't know if I spoke about this on podcast. It was Chameleonaire, and he was talking about how he was at this party and like Jordan was there, right? And he was trying to get Jordan's autograph because I guess he just like won a Michael Jordan jersey at an auction for like $25,000.
Damn.
And so he saw Jordan at this party, and Jordan was with the Boston Celtics. He was with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, all of them. I think Jay-Z was there too. And Chameleonaire went up to him and was like, "Hey, bro, can I get a jersey? Or can I get a picture?" You know, because he saw some girls going up to him to take a picture. So he went up to him and was like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" And MJ, like, you know, he had a cigar in his drink. He looked at him. He's like, "Fuck rap. Like, who the fuck is this guy?" You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what Chameleonaire said. Chameleonaire's like, "What, bro?" Like he was caught off guard by it because first of all, Michael Jordan's like what 6'8", you know what I mean? Looking down at him, he's going up to him with his Michael Jordan jersey, and he's just like, "Hey, can I get a picture or an autograph?" And I guess before that, he asked like who this was, and someone was like, "Hey, that's Chameleonaire. He's a rapper." And then that's when Jordan's like, "Man, fuck rap." You know what I mean?
Damn. It's just straight disrespect to him.
Yeah, just straight disrespect to him. So I guess that went into like this whole conversation about MJ not really liking rap as rap music. You know what I mean? But now he is backing rappers now just to kind of make up for that incident and those rumors. But it's funny because that interview, it goes into like, man, MJ ain't even really about the black culture. Have you seen how that guy dresses? That guy's not black.
Damn.
I've heard that a couple times, though. I have heard that a couple times. But he doesn't like black music. He doesn't like black people. I've heard that, but I don't know how true it is.
Crazy stuff. Bro, so segue into other stuff than music, because you're more than a rapper. You had that post, "Is karma real?" on your story. What do you guys think?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I personally think it's almost like I'm not gonna say placebo, but at the same time, it's like it's kind of like when you with whatever you believe in, like spiritually and like like energy wise. I feel like personally it's energy, but I can definitely see the argument of like just because you woke up this way or said something out loud that like now it's going to come true or it's going to jinx it. It's like kind of along the lines of if you believe in jinxes or not. But I just feel like the more positive energy you give out, the more positivity you're going to be able to consume. And same thing with negativity. Like Mel, you were talking about how a lot of people will gravitate towards negativity, and for headlines and stuff with like the media especially is like negativity is the biggest seller right now, I believe, in like the media, because it's the easiest to digest and it's the easiest to spew out. Nowadays it's becoming harder to be positive, and especially when you get kind of talked down upon when you're like, oh, you're too positive these days, or like you're just an optimist or whatever. Like that's like it's getting harder to be positive because negativity is like the leader of headlines and of all the energy. So in terms of karma, like I try my best to build karma and keep good karma out there, but it's definitely an energy based source.
Okay, so for me, there was a point in time where I did believe karma was real, and this is why I asked the question, because my thoughts on it have changed. Because now I don't think karma is real. Only reason I think that is because I'm going to just say one of the cliche things, right? Not all bad people get punished equally.
Facts.
And
True.
if karma was an exact law, then there would be no reason for those people to get away with it, right? There are consequences, and again, with kind of piggybacking off what Zach said, it does go according to what you believe. Like I do believe that there is God's judgment, upon things, and there are consequences, and there also is cause and effect. That is a real law of the life. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's everything has cause and effect. Everything doesn't have karma. So, and then most people will say, oh, well, maybe they will pay for it in their next life. That's not karma. That's dharma. So again, you're conflating something that doesn't even, have anything to do with something else. So most people don't even understand what karma is in the first place.
Yeah.
And then most people also don't understand that it's a Buddhism and Hindu way of thinking. So if you're Christian, you're not even supposed to believe in it because God didn't even say anything about karma. So, I have a lot of different ways of thinking, and now I understand that karma, I don't think it's real, because if it was, there would be an exact law that follows it to the T every single time, just like 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I initially, it's crazy because like we talked about artists, you grow, right? You know what I mean? Your music's not going to always be the same. It's going to be at where you're at. My belief systems has changed also about karma. I feel like I used to believe there was like a watcher, you know what I mean, that keeps track. I feel like the Akashic vibes or the Akashic records kind of keeps track of everything. But getting into these dark rabbit holes, and there's Aleister Crowley that says do it thou wilt. There's Absol. I mean, I don't know if you listen to Absol. Absol has that do it thou wilt too.
Yep. They're all Satanists.
yeah. I mean, granted that. But it's almost like I also believe that the placebo effect that Zach said, like if you believe that there's karma, then there's going to be karma. And I agree with you, Mel. I don't think bad people get punished. They don't really get what's supposed to be coming to them.
Right.
But that's according to us. You know what I mean? Who are we to judge? And who's to say that they're not paying for that in the next life on some type shit? But
again, that's not karma. That's dharma.
Right. So it's hard. Are there just universal laws that can be like, once you know the rules, then you can play with them. But like you said, as far as like Christianity and sometimes some dogmas and some religions, they bar you from, you know what I mean? Oh, you can't turn on unlimited mode here. That's, it's like Grand Theft Auto. If you turn on cheats, you won't get the full game.
Turn God mode on. Like,
throttle your internet.
Turn on limited ammo, or else you want to unlock this story. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm kind of in between. You know what I mean? And it's hard because if you do cross that threshold, then comes like you can manipulate like the universe. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Bro.
That might be witchcraft. I don't know, but that's the thing that you put labels on what's bad, what's good. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's a weird mystical ground. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where
we always operate under the laws, though.
Yeah,
because the laws can't be broken and they can't be undone and it can't not be done. Like gravity can't not be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
You can't not do gravity. So just like you can't not do cause and effect, you're automatically doing it whether you know about the law or not. So I do think, there are actual laws that the world or the universe
does. Now we about to go down the rabbit hole now.
Let's go.
You just fell down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So thought experiment, bro. What if gravity's a psyop? Just play with me, right? Just play with me.
All right, go ahead.
Just play with me. Just play with me.
Got one.
And you're not allowed to think that it's not, or else like what? It's like the flat Earth thing. What, you believe in flat Earth? Let's just play like there's a flat Earth and gravity is not real. But that's what's indoctrinated in you. So you know what I mean? We're almost programmed to alienate someone who believes otherwise. Just think about it. The world was the sun was revolving around the earth before, and anyone who thought otherwise was looked upon crazy up until they said, nah, the sun we revolve around the sun. So with that said, what if someone's like, hey bro, I don't think gravity's real. Look at this. If I put this crystal and this stone together and I like do something like, you know what I mean? And I say these words, whatever the fuck speaking in tongues does, and something happens. That's kind of demonic witchcraft. It's looked at as Satanist. You know what I mean? Oh, you can't do that. That's looked that bad. You know what I mean? But that's still available to you. That's kind of what do what thou wilt is. It's just like, do whatever you want. You know what I mean? But just know that there are laws. So if you do a blood exchange, then know what's coming because there is an exchange. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, these are available to you. Just, are you willing to pay the price of the exchange? You know what I mean?
So I totally understand what you're saying and how you're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't actually mean gravity doesn't exist, even though what you're saying does exist, right? Because that could just simply mean the laws of physics have changed, or the laws have changed in that because it's just like saying a ball will act the same in the air as it does in water. No, the physics are different. So if I change the physics, like if I turn water to ice, the physics are now different. But it doesn't mean that the water never existed. You understand what I mean? So gravity could still exist in your world, but because I manipulated the laws, other laws that still exist within the parameters, I can create something different.
But what if, let's play with that, right? What if the guy's like, hey, bro, I just found this text that says it's not even called gravity. It's called like the ether force. You know what I mean? And there's more than that. You know what I mean? There's more than what the books are saying that you can do. And it's actually something that you can manipulate and you can turn. And it's more of like an electromagnetic, you know what I mean? And then if you look at that in that kind of aspect, it's like the gravity makes sense at a certain degree, but now this electromagnetic theory fills in the blanks perfectly. But I can't accept that because I'm That's fringe. You know
I
what I
actually
mean?
heard of the theory that you're talking about. It's that we're actually held down by negative, that we're actually held by negative, energy, or
it thinks the electric universe theory, right?
It holds us down from the moon or something else like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I heard that theory. I mean, it's not a crazy theory, because why? In order to keep people from doing certain things, you'd make them believe that gravity was unable to be hindered with.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, if everybody knows you can hinder with gravity, okay, let's go grab these 2 stones and fucking fly to Florida instead of buying.
You just have people just fucking
with the plane tickets and shit. Everybody with crystals like flying Nimbus.
But you see, that's why the psyop. That's why the psyop of, you know what I mean. No, what I'm saying is even karma could be a psyop of, you know what I mean. Hey, there's a moral code. You know what I mean. There's a right or wrong, and I feel like.
Something bad's gonna happen.
I watch this. I watch this explanation as some kind of like some occult teacher or whatever, but trying to downplay that he's a fucking occult teacher. But he was talking about looking in nature, right? Like you see zebras, fucking cute zebras, right? And then you see this little baby zebra, and they're drinking water. Then all of a sudden, this fucking alligator rips apart this baby zebra. It sucks. You know what I mean? It fucking sucks. But is it evil? You know what I mean? It's just nature. Us as people, we kind of make things complicated. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, I can't believe that happened to a kid. Oh, man. You know what I mean? Like, which, you know what I mean, is what makes us human. You know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of what makes you a higher being, that you're able to empathize. You know what I mean? We talked about chakras in our last episode. I want to get into that, but the higher you navigate, obviously more senses in the field, and there's different fields or whatever, right? Yeah. So with the do what thou wilt, and I also listened to this yogi that said, what do you say? Like, nothing matters, and there's no reason for anything. You know what I mean? Like he says, life is just a simulation that just flashes like a strobe light, and each light is a moment. So then the last strobe light moment passed. You know what I mean? Now we're in this moment. 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 Type of strobe light effect. And there's no reason for anything. Like whatever reason you're trying to build in your head from the past or the future, whatever's the moment. So if I do this right now, there wasn't any like mystical reason for me doing that. But if you look into the details, like the devil's in the details, I might have did that at like 1 minute, 11 in 11 seconds. And you know what I mean? You can kind of extrapolate some kind of reason for that. So pretty much what I'm saying is sometimes I feel like the intellect works against us and we try to find reasons for everything. And that's what I'm saying, is that being used against us to exploit us in order for us to not use these universal laws. So we're not just fucking flying everywhere to, you know what I mean? Different dimensions and shit. And so they can kind of keep us contained. Hey, work a job, bro. You know what I mean? American dream, bro. And you know what I mean? Yada, yada, yada. Because that's, what do you guys think?
Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, so that's where, like, when we talk about, I'm probably, of all the cave, you know, I guess admin, if you will, I'm probably the least into or like versed in conspiracies. Like there's always a couple that kind of like perk my interest, but because I always get lost in the why, you know, I always get like my brain just gravitates towards like, okay, that makes sense. I get like trying to hold this down, but then like, for what though?
Yeah.
So because we can't fly, like we're gonna die eventually. Who cares? So that's where how I cope with a lot of this stuff when I hear these things is like, I mean, when I'm dead, is it gonna matter? Like I'm just gonna get. I'm gonna. There's a certain time. There's a certain place, and in this, you know, this fucking complicated thing that we call life, where I'm not gonna be existing anymore. And so it's like, is that worth it for me to be able to like spend my mental energy on? Because I gotta like, I have kids and I got a life and I gotta like pay bills. I gotta do this and that. So it's like, if I stop believing in that, like, what are the repercussions? Oh, I'm gonna be homeless, and you know, like not because I wasted my time trying to figure out why and try to fix this stuff. But what if there isn't even a problem anyway, and we're just because our minds are so like robust that we have these ideas and imaginations that like we go down these things that we call rabbit holes because our brain's capable of it.
Exactly.
And for me, a lot of stuff sounds like it just sounds good. It sounds cool to like think about, but like, what's the why? And that's where I can't wrap my mind around the why for a lot of these things.
So I'm actually glad you went first because I was going to go into that. So Breeze, like you said, what if it's all a psyop, right? And to piggyback off of what Zach said, you got to really think about this for a second, okay? The people that are in control, because we like to talk about conspiracy and the super elites, right? The people that are in control, what do they do, okay? Now, if we just look at the baseline of things, I can probably almost 100% guarantee they're not sitting around thinking about conspiracies. Okay. One of the biggest things that they are doing, though, is what Zach said. They're focused on their family, focused on creating more wealth, focused on the life that is going on around them. The problem with this, and I was just saying this to my friend yesterday, the problem with the whole spiritual community and the whole these ideas is that they're literally unlimited. You can go on forever, and you can literally spend the rest of your life thinking about it and never doing anything about any of it. Like literally, like 98% of us are literally going to die broken the rest of our lives. But 98% of us also think these things and think we can, you know, we're some kind of mystical being that's going to change something or do this, and that we only live here for X amount of time and then we die. But meanwhile, we got the super elites that have been here for generations, hundreds, if not more than that, that continue to build their families, continue to build wealth, continue to build the generations. But we're just in the spiritual mindset and just wanting to, you know, maybe that is a psyop. Maybe that's their way of keeping us down in our mental state, so that way we always think about stuff, so that way we're always depressed, so that we're always in the victim mindset. Why is this always happening to me? Why is the government so bad? Why is that? Instead of worrying about our families, getting rich, building businesses, building something like this, a podcast where you're reaching out to other people. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think. I think the same thing Zach thinks. I used to be a hardcore conspiracy theorist, bro. I started thinking about conspiracy when I was 14, 15 years old. And you know, and I recently just stopped maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, because I realized how long of a rabbit you can literally go on forever, bro. Like forever. Yeah. Forever. And if you find something like that actually has principles and actually makes sense on a day-to-day basis, because spirituality is such on a spectrum that you can literally feel one day today about one thing and feel totally different about it tomorrow about the exact same thing. Because there's no principle, there's no spectrum, there's no moral code of it, because everything is everything and everything is nothing at the same time.
I hear you. So, and I'll also say, like I said, being in the community now and hearing a bunch of other channels and stuff, it's like they highlight certain keywords and topics that are, you know, high pings and, you know what I mean?
Buzzwords on purpose.
Yeah, but that's the thing about our podcast. We try to get in the middle of it, you know what I mean? And like I said, going down these rabbit holes, it's depressing. I feel like it's dark. I mean, metaphorically, you go down deep, you're going to be further from the light. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, it's getting darker and darker as you go.
I'm saying, if you follow cave divers, sometimes you get stuck. You feel me? You feel me? But sometimes you find treasure, right? Yeah, sometimes you find treasure. So I'll explain it this way. I was deep into conspiracy theories, and then I got conspiracy theory exhaustion. You know what I mean? Or depression, bro. And that was over. I was like, what's the point?
Because you feel like you're the only person that believes it, and nobody else believes it. You're just like,
no one will listen to me, bro.
Yeah, you're just like, listen, look.
Like, that's why if you watch these, I'm not talking about it because I'm listening, because like, even if I don't, and this is one thing that I learned too, just being around a lot of different mindsets and ideologies throughout, you know, me growing up with how I grew up. Like, I was quiet because I wanted to listen, because I didn't understand things. So it doesn't mean like I'm going to shut it out and like ignore it and then be ignorant to it. Like, Like, no, like, tell me what you're thinking because I want to learn your point of view because that's, to me, like, how else are we going to learn things if we're not listening? Like, if we're not trying to understand the other side. So even if I don't agree with conspiracy theories, like, obviously all of them or none of them, whatever, they could all be true. They could not be true. Some could be true. Some couldn't be true. It is what it is. But I learn a lot from hearing these things because it's fascinating to see how and hear how like the brain works and like how we can go down these rabbit holes. And it's like, man, like for a lot of them, I'm like, that could be true. Shit. Like, but then it's like, what if it's, then my mind goes like, what if that's true? Like, then I'm like, oh no, I'm going to think about this for a week.
Being on
information, you just gotta know when to stop taking information in.
Being on this side, it's like when you've dropped the bomb and then they didn't believe you, and then a few months later it happens and no one's like, you called that, and everyone's like programmed. That kind of makes you a little more discouraged. You know what I mean?
Makes you kind of paranoid too. It's like, am I really just like thinking this by myself? Nobody else sees it, like. But especially when they don't say nothing about it. It's like
it's interesting because I was on a podcast called The Reality Czars and they just talk about conspiracy stuff, you know, and I was like, finally I can talk about crazy shit where I don't have to explain what I'm saying. I could just ping pong, you know, at the same level. But we came to the agreement that, yeah, man, if you really go into this, the walls seem like they're closing in. But at the same time, it also is the difference of living in a fantasy land and being real where you're at. You know what I mean? Because if you accept the fact that things are closing in, then it goes back down to the ultimate thing of taking care of your family and just making sure that this this moment is good and is right. And whatever makes this moment good and right, right? So conspiracy theory, if you go down, I hate the term conspiracy theories, but if you boil it down, at the end of the day, it's really just spirituality because it's trying to, you know what I mean, understand that the world's fucked up, but I can enjoy this fucked up world instead of being like, oh, I don't know, let's go eat at McDonald's because that shit ain't true anyways. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But now it goes to this. As a conspiracy theorist, you're kind of looked at as the tinfoil person. So if I say, because like I said, it's boiled down into spirituality, you know what I mean? Because these fools that are screaming 9/11 are also talking about frequencies, and it's like, what the fuck? Now you're talking about some crazy shit. You know what I mean? And as a person who's been in that rabbit hole for a long time, I've been able to categorize, hey, this is interesting. Hey, this is actually some real shit. I could use this. You know what I mean? This will get the casual into this to get him into that. You know what I mean? I can kind of package it now. When I tell you that there's a meditation technique by an ancient Buddhist, and you're like, oh, fucking conspiracy theorist shit. But then some scientist tells you that, hey, deep breathing can do this. And what the fuck? Fuck you. You know what I mean? What the fuck?
That's what I'm telling you about.
Saying they don't believe the fucking government and the news. It's like, dumbass. Like, what the hell?
Bro, now I want to share with you what I think boils down to the most important thing and why what we were talking about with the elites and stuff and the gravity and everything being a psyop and religion. And I guess it started out with karma, right? Because if you believe in karma, then you're limited in your worldview of right and wrong. You know what I mean? There's no gray area. I don't know if you follow Star Wars with the gray Jedis, you know what I mean? Or the people that kind of play in between. Fucking Doctor Strange, right? The ancient one was able to access more magic because she can play in between, opposed to the people who are good or bad. You can only use your good magic. You can only use your bad magic. That's a psyop because it tells you that, hey, you're only this powerful. You know what I mean? Don't access all that pretty much. There's this idea, and I just recently learned this going into like rabbit holes called the egregore, right? And the egregore pretty much is if you think about the imagination realm as a spiritual realm, right? Like a blank canvas, and you start to imagine, you start to form and create in that imagination realm, right? Now, think about different dimensions. There's entities in those imagination realms. So sometimes they're able to communicate ideas to you. And you know what I mean? Oh, I thought about this song, you know, and that's how freestyle rappers come up with, I don't know, it just hit me and for some reason it hit, you know what I mean? I just thought of an idea that could either be thought like the meditation and the scientific thing. It depends on how it's labeled. It can either just be like, I just thought of a random idea, or hey man, I was at this position, I was thinking this vibe, and then maybe that sent out a signal in order for me to receive this idea, or angels or whatever, right? You know what I mean? Depends how you look at it. Well, egregore pretty much is saying that you can make certain like ghost pocket beings, entities on yourself. So if I were to create a cult with a deity, like a fake deity that has a mask, and you guys bought into it, I'm slowly manifesting that deity there, and your energy is going towards that. You know what I mean? So let's get into, the cult that like massively committed suicide with their Nikes on. I forget what cult they're called.
What Nikes on?
Wait, what?
Nikes on my feet. Heaven's Gate. They were a religious group. Look it up. They're called the Heaven's Gate in 1974. They followed this like cult leader, and they told him to commit mass suicide, and they had to wear the same things, right? So now why I'm talking about the ergregores is because now we're talking about a concept of if you harvest energy, you know what I mean? You can create another being in an astral realm. Now, if we talk about what happens when you die, you know what I mean? And you talk about the afterlife, whether it's reincarnation or whether it's heaven. At the end of the day, like you said, it's about taking care of your family. Wouldn't you want to see your family in the afterlife? I don't have a kid yet, but if my dog dies, I want to fucking see my dog again, bro. You know what I mean? So like, I hope there's an afterlife. Now, how do we navigate that afterlife? Why I talked about gravity, and why I talk about psyops, and why I talk about Heaven's Gate, and why I talk about egregores is, imagine subscribing to a religion, let's say like Catholic, right? And what if Catholic is fake and it's a psyop? We've harvested our prayers and our energy and our money into tithes. Our kids indoctrinate them into Catholic, into an egregore space. Now, when they die, they're just going to be like in some kind of, where am I, Dad? You know what I mean? And that shit happens. And then you can just get manifested in a certain, like a limited amount of like slave deities if you believe in reincarnation, because you didn't really live to your full purpose. You lived their purpose, and it's a psyop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you come back to fucking Earth.
Yeah, man. So it's interesting because I don't know if you guys know who David Grush is. He's one of the lead like whistleblowers as far as like UFOs now. And he's coming out talking about UFOs and aliens. And he's telling you guys to look at it more of an interdimensional type thing. He's saying that he thinks that there's a like interconnected relationship of these interdimensional aliens needing us in order to pray and believe certain things to create for them. Because in our world, you know what I mean? The 3D world, what's creation? Making a baby, right? Or like making something, because you're manifesting a three-dimensional shape in the 3D world, right? But in the 5D, 6D, it's probably imagination, right? So they need us to create in their world. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So they're going to manipulate us and have us believing in a certain things. And that gets into like people like Maria Orsic, that was a cult, was in an occult that Hitler tried to contact, we called the Vril Society, and what she would do is she would try to telepathically connect with different entities, and they would try to make like UFOs and stuff. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is we're more powerful. We should really be aware of these psyops. You know what I mean? And like to do what thou wilt. Maybe just, I personally believe that if you believe in the egregore thing, then you can really create anything. So it's like Inception, you know, they were creating their own realm. It just, they needed to die to get there. So she committed suicide to get there. But there's also that natural law. You know, they say that if you commit suicide, you go to hell because you didn't die naturally. You know what I mean? There's laws like Valhalla. If you're a warrior, you have to die in a worthy death. Otherwise, you don't go to the afterlife. So there's natural laws. And if we're not living by those universal natural laws and we're living by karma, then we get stuck in that egregore. That's why that's why I think certain rabbit holes are valuable, because it's like, I'm protecting your spirit, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one, because like a lot of, I know you probably heard this, because a lot of religions are satanic religions.
Tell them, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. You know, they're making people create egregores for each religion, because you're effectively celebrating something that you think is one thing, but is actually something else. And you're creating an entity in that other realm, or for this holiday, for this entity or whatever it is, so that way it can become stronger in that realm and have the ability to probably create more evil in this world. That's what I got from what you said. You know what I mean? Because they can't physically create evil here. So they need to create it through us.
Yes,
they can't do that. They can't. They really can't. They need.
That's why they. That's why they tempt us, and like you know what I mean.
Absolutely, and I
like
really think like that the aliens that they are calling aliens are like demonic energies. You know that, like you said again, are trying to use us to manipulate this world continuously.
Bro, I heard. My bad to cut you off, Zach, but I heard that the reason that the gods and the demons are jealous of us is because we have free will to do whatever the fuck we want. They have like, you know, I have to uphold, I'm a demon, you know what I mean? I have universal laws. I'm like an Agent Smith, so I have to run my Agent Smith program. I'm like what's it called? Who's the Oracle, so I have to run the Oracle program, you know what I mean? Right. But Neo can be like
the demons have to listen.
Dog, Neo at the fourth Matrix, that fool wasn't even doing martial arts anymore. He was just going.
He was fully tapped in, dude. Fully evolved. Yeah, no, but that's funny you brought that up, dude. Because it's like whenever you see like horror movies that are like possession or like demonic based, like we're the vessel for them, Absolutely. like to be able to like be their full selves. So that's where my head went when you were talking about, you know, the aliens, Jersey, like how they could be needing us to help, like as like we're like a siphon, like we're being siphoned of our ability to think, you know, because our brains are so powerful. But then my head went when you're talking about demons, like us having free will and them not. Like I thought about in South Park with Satan. How like he doesn't want to be bad, you know, like and he has Saddam with him, and I think that's like, you know, the joke, but it's like, yeah, that's where I remember seeing that and thinking like, oh, that's interesting. They're portraying Satan as like he might be a good guy, but it's like with your mindset, but we can't think that because that's not what we were told us when we were growing up, which is why for me like religion is a very like touchy subject, because where my head goes like. There's so many conflicting principles and like you have to just choose one. Like I don't know, it's always irked me. Even when I was going to church when I was a kid, like how some religions believe in certain things and others don't, but there's so many of them, and you know, but like let's just be happy, and that's where like I kind of evolved. It was like let's just live our life, be happy, because we know when it's going to end, and like why are we, you know, basing why I don't like somebody because of something that's not tangible, you know.
Yeah.
But it's been tough for me personally. Yeah. So
should not like somebody because of what they believe. That's just
yeah. Just because I don't believe in conspiracy doesn't mean I don't love Jerusalem.
Yeah,
exactly. But some of them do pique my interest, so for sure.
The alien stuff definitely piques my interest a lot. Because they're doing a lot of weird stuff, man. Like, like the freaking what's that thing called? The hydrogen collider. What the hell is it?
You're talking about the hydrogen collider. You're talking about CERN. Yeah.
CERN. Yeah. Like, what the hell is that, bro? Like,
that gets into interdimensional stuff and parallel universes. You know what I mean?
The space-time continuum to do what? Like.
Like Spider-Verse stuff, like into the Spider-Verse, the collider.
Literally that, like fucking thing.
Yeah, that's. And there's a lot of multi-dimensional stuff going on in the media right now. A lot of multiversal stuff.
Yes. So, I mean, I did some research, and we'll get off this, and because I want to talk about some conspiracy theories that we do like, but it's the Project Stargate. Have you guys heard about that?
Yep.
They said that turned on and fucked something up around 2012, 2013. And so that's why the Mandela effect kind of shifted things on some Spider-Verse stuff. You know what I mean? So who knows, man? Who knows?
We were in another dimension and we were actually supposed to be in, and we're living in an alternate reality.
That's why all my sports teams suck now. They were good before 2013. Just kidding.
So I was actually part of like this alien discussion. It's going to be out in a week, but we talked about, and I asked us on the Discord, define aliens though. You know what I mean? Because aliens could be a Chinese person, right? Alien can be an angel, a demon can be an alien because they're from hell. That's a different dimension. A ghost is an alien, right? So like we talked about.
Then
what about what do you think about like a humanoid shapeshifter that was already here before us?
Do I think it's an alien?
Is that an alien or are they Earthlings? You know what I mean?
Well, you have to shapeshift to become a human, so yeah, you're an alien. You're not.
But you're from Earth. You feel me? Like if we talk about inner Earth, they're like an underground. So
because they were here already.
Yeah. So this is where I'm going to go about like what I went into there. I said aliens are a psyop. And what I mean by that is when you talk about aliens, obviously your head goes into Little Green Man, Star Wars, and fucking Star Trek, right?
Okay. More or less, yeah.
That's all part of getting into it right now. Project Bluebeam, right? Project Bluebeam. The guy said, I forget his name, but I have it over here. He said that the media is going to push out Star Trek, Star Wars, and make you, look up in the sky. And they're going to make it so that you believe that an alien invasion is coming and they're going to unveil like this LED drone system to project a deity over there. And they're going to be so advanced with AI that this deity is going to speak a dialect that everyone's going to understand and say that this is the God. You know what I mean? You guys need to cease. And it's kind of, relevant now with the stuff that's going in the Middle East because they're fighting a religious war. And if a deity like Jerizi came through or Jerizus came through, it's like, hey, guys, stop shooting. You know what I'm saying? And it just resonated with everyone. And I'm pretty sure people would bow down and think that that's a god. You know what I mean? But they're saying that the real psyop is you believing those are aliens. And
so I have heard that. And what I heard was the same thing. I heard that it was actually going to be each each country's deity, like,
going to speak their language, right?
Jesus was going to be here and say, everybody be peaceful, and then Buddha was going to be over in China or whatever, and then so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. The thing, but I'm glad you brought that up because I had a question. The thing I was going to say about that is, do you think that how all of these celebrities are now being like exposed for everything that they're doing and stuff like that?
You're going down perfectly. Yeah.
So do you think that is on purpose so that way they can do Project Bluebeam? Because obviously they need to create the problem first, right? And then give you the solution. So the problem would be that there's corruption in music, there's corruption in politics, there's corruption in this, there's corruption in that. So we need to organize the world in a way, but they can't do it themselves. So they need to do Project Bluebeam, which would be each person's deity saying, oh, we need a one world order, which would create the new world order on purpose. You know what I mean? So like, I think that all the stuff that's going on right now is on purpose. That's all I'm saying. Like, to go into the Bluebeam stuff, like, because everything's always it's like always a prep phase. Everything's a prep phase, like, for something else.
So as far as space is fake and gay. And let me build on that. NASA in Hebrew, I think, means to deceive.
It is. Yeah, it's fake.
Right. Oh, that's fake?
Hollywood. Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, Holly weird too. So what I'm going to say is there's a psyop. I mean, bro, like if space is fake, then like there's also, if you guys look into it, you can Google rabbit holes on satellites being fake, and majority of our satellites are lifted up by balloons. You know what I mean? They're not just orbiting, they're lifting up in balloons. And Danny's a flight attendant now. He says I forget what height, but at a certain altitude, it's considered outer space, even though we're not outside of the atmosphere. You know what I mean? So we can have certain satellites in a certain altitude. Oh, you're in the Air Force, right, Zach? You were in the Air Force.
I was, yeah. So I didn't do a lot of space, but yeah, that was before my time.
But what I'm trying to say is I think that there is a psyop of space and an aliens, and that's what Project Bluebeam says. And like you said, Mel, I talked about reptilians, right? Like, is that an alien? Anybody who else would say, fuck yeah, you know what I mean? That's more alien than anything, you know what I mean? It's a shapeshifter, but they're from here. So like, I think the elite, I mean, we're talking about bloodlines, and at the end of the day, why are they doing this? You don't think that you said you don't think that they're being malicious. You don't think they're sitting in round tables trying to fuck up the world. At the end of the day, they're thinking about their family, but their family is
I think they are, though.
You know what I mean? The family is the elite. So taking care of my family means fuck these people. Let's siphon their energy. So they're taking care of their family means, meeting at round tables and trying to fuck people.
That's scary. Yeah, absolutely. Because I really do think that they create their family to think that we're all peasants on purpose.
Yes. So I watched this documentary called Above Majestic to get ready for this alien thing, and they said that in order to get the best general to lead certain operations, they want someone fresh, so they're not indoctrinated into the system, so they have like this clear perspective, because he said everything's a psyop. So if you already think you're indoctrinated, you're looking in a certain matrix already. You see certain things because there's traces already, instead of someone who has like fresh perspective. You know what I mean? You see openly.
That's why they need an assassin who doesn't know nothing.
Right. So now I'm talking about everything is a psyop, right? So this guy dropped in our Discord and he said, y'all need to be looking at this stuff. He said that fucking UFOs are being used for human trafficking, right? And I'm like, what do you mean, bro? Like, are people using the UFOs? And you know what I mean? Are kidnapping people, or are we giving them to aliens? You know what I mean? And he says, I don't know. He says, look into it and think about it. There was that agreement with Eisenhower and the aliens, supposedly, right? And I guess supposedly,
I heard about this.
Supposedly, they were going to trade alien tech, and in return, the aliens were allowed to experiment with people in national parks.
Yeah,
that's why you get missing 411. You know what I mean, bro? what are aliens known for? Abducting, right? And probing.
Yeah.
We talked about language and labels. Isn't that just kidnapping and raping?
Absolutely. I never thought about it like that, bro.
Yeah, because it's a psyop. Because it's a psyop.
To do the trafficking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now get this, bro.
Because why? Because they're not going to fly a fucking plane. You understand?
Yeah.
They're not going to fly a plane. It's too obvious.
And if an alien abducts you, they're just like, oh, what happened? You know what I mean? They're never going to look for that person.
UFO zipping around like that, who's going to see it?
So what makes this crazy, bro, is, I looked into it and I was like, dog, that's crazy.
I never thought.
And it reminded me of this documentary I watched, bro. And this documentary is called Surviving Epstein. And they would always, there was a bunch of victims from the Epstein case. They came out and testified. One of them drew a painting, right? And the painting had Jeffrey Epstein taken off on a UFO. Whether the elites are shapeshifters and they're the aliens and they're using the tech to take the kids, or they know how to use tech now and they're taking the kids. I think it's blurred, and I think the psyop is to think, oh, these alien bodies from Nazca, oh, they look like humanoids, you know what I mean? Oh, let's watch space and stuff. But really, it's like more of a fucking like kind of dark demonic type shit, you know what I mean?
Never thought about that, but
I found out how to use the technology.
Yeah, and they just use it like that because, like I said, planes are too obvious and they're too slow. A UFO, you can pick somebody up real quick, and because of the way the technology works, it moves very, very fast. And
it's a scientific phenomena. It's not like a human traffic.
And nobody's gonna believe it if they saw it. Yeah, nobody's gonna believe. Oh,
definitely plausible.
Yeah, it's a perfect cover up.
So as far as alien goes, and we talked about, what is an alien?
On last time, yeah.
Is it a shapeshifter? Who knows? Here, let me show you right now. I had it. Here you go, bro. This is from a victim, one of Epstein's victims, right? Ghislaine Maxwell is a dragon shapeshifter. I don't know what she meant by that. It's art. Top right, Epstein on a UFO. Whatever that means, whether they know how to use a tech or whether he's an alien.
At the Washington Monument too.
I will get into that as well, as far as Epstein being an alien. Bro, on the bottom right, that's Hillary Clinton as a fucking like cow. Now you want to talk about cabal, ball, and like all that shit? I don't know if there's a connection, right?
JFK on TV.
Straight out of the horse's mouth, man.
Elon Musk.
Now,
Elon Musk on top left.
It looks like Musk on the top left over there with a finger, right?
All right.
Hey, Inner Earth down in the bottom.
Yeah, Inner Earth. Yeah. Fucking shit. Jeff Bezos down there.
You see how they're all in there. I mean, if you watch the documentary, she goes into it. But what I'm saying is like shapeshifters right here, family tree maybe over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the roots. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's is that Rockefeller, right? And the seed underneath that little dragon looking bit.
But you see the mushroom right here? Don't this look like Donald Trump? I don't know if I could fucking zoom in, but I'll send you this picture outside. But bro, as far as shapeshifters go, I mean, like if you saw someone's like eyes turn, that'd be a trip, right? But I mean, this is gonna get pretty crazy, and I think I said in the last episode. One of the victims said that this might get kind of explicit, but Jeffrey Epstein's penis was kind of weird shape, like an egg shape type of like weird. He had like a fucking anomaly. Now that could be funny. That could be funny, and it was taken as funny. But if you're believing in this elites or alien shapeshifter theory, that could be a clue. You know what I mean? Like obviously, if an alien's penis, a shapeshifter's penis is going to be different. You know what I mean? There's certain features that they can't all like a probe copy.
I look like a probe.
Yeah, bro. So
maybe that's where they got the idea for vibrators from.
Yeah, so.
Look like probes.
Butt plugs.
Oh man, crazy stuff, man, crazy stuff. But yeah, look into it. I mean, if you look at all that, then it's like the people running the show. You know what I mean? It goes back to if I'm trying to stay away from conspiracy theory and I got into this and this seems plausible, then fuck, the shit I'm ignoring is real.
yeah, bro. Man, that's so crazy. I never put the two together. You never, never think.
Neither did I. But I feel like it kind of makes sense. I mean, you guys tell me, am I tripping?
No, you're not, because it clicked as soon as you said it.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Nobody will believe it. And it's so, and because back then, Hitler was also studying UFOs and how to build them. And everything that we are doing now in the new United States is what Hitler did to the fucking concentration camps and how he ran everything. And the way he ran the society, and the way he ran propaganda through everything. Everything that we do is the same way fucking Hitler did it. You know what I mean? So I really
I tell people like the time from when Hitler was messing with that to now. I mean, let's just look at the time when we had no Nokia phones to now, like the advancement from then and there.
What is it? Technology advances 10 years every 1 year.
Yeah. Like I think I heard too for students, like your education is pretty much outdated after 2-3 years.
It's outdated. So the shit we learned is just, you know what I mean? It's crazy. You see how kids learn math nowadays.
And we're learning, bro. Okay, now just to tie this
gives me headaches.
We're learning out of books that Robert Maxwell published. That's Ghislaine Maxwell's father. And if we're talking about shapeshifters, we're being indoctrinated by their scripts. You know what I mean? So their egregores is what where ethereal energies are going to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it makes a lot of sense.
I like that, ethereal energies.
Yeah. So let's kind of go shallow. And Zach's favorite conspiracy theory is birds aren't real. So let's go up kind of to that. What do you guys think?
I see somebody like have a shirt like that says that. Like, what is that about anyway?
So I guess like the gist of it is like birds are like drones that like the government, I guess, dispersed to be able to keep tabs on us, but like be incognito and make different noises, and like different ones make the different noises, so that way like we just have had them become normalized for us. So like that crow yelling at 6 a.m, like it's like glitching or something, and the seagulls and like just all the birds are stupid, and like, or not all of them, but like a lot of them are, and it's just like the way that it was explained. And I first heard it on Pat McAfee show, because they have that dude Boston Connor on there, and he brought it up one day, and that's like where my brain went, because it goes when I hear these things like why, and I'm like, oh, to keep tabs, like that would make sense. And then there's videos now that you can see of them just like they're just floating in the air, like not moving, but like they're not flying, like because like if you see some of those videos of them just like in the air, like they're doing this, but there's some that are just stuck, and and just weird looking birds. Like there's like videos coming out nowadays of like birds that are just like malfunctioning. So like it's all plausible to me, and it's just funny to think about, because like especially with our country, like our the bald eagle is like the number one bird. So if I feel like if I tried to really go down the rabbit hole and like connect that, like that's where I would go towards. Yeah, see, like just random, but like that bird's not flying. Like it's, I don't know, it's stuck.
That's a glitch in the Matrix, dog.
That's a glitch, dude, right? Like, so stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I can see how that conspiracy is real.
This is on news, Glacier Media Group. I wonder if they lost credibility.
Yeah, probably. But that's a fun one, and like Drizzy said, it's like at the top. That's like the icing of like the conspiracy cake, or like those ones that are kind of like out in front that are obvious that may or may not be true. But that's just a fun one to like think about and like spend some feral energy on.
Some chi.
Yeah,
bro.
Not karma though.
Birds aren't real.
So birds aren't real started as an online movement. I guess this guy named Peter McKindo.
There's an online business.
It was movement. Like an online movement. So I think they started as a TikTok. And they started a hashtag called "Birds Aren't Real," and then they ended up started just protesting, and more people started protesting. Birds aren't real, and their points are they're hard to catch. You know what I mean? So they might have some kind of sonar, like tech to keep them to make them fly. When you get to a certain distance, you've never seen a baby pigeon. So they're saying
that one was one too, yeah.
Pigeons just come out as adults out of a factory.
You know what I mean? They stay in the nest. They can't fucking fly.
So yeah, I was saying
that's what they want you to think. No, just kidding.
To debunk that, just raise a pigeon, but I don't think anyone's raised a pigeon. So that begs the question as well.
Ask Mike Tyson.
We should. It should dead that.
That's good.
Should dead that real quick. But they're also saying, I mean, this. I went into it and I saw, I was like, man, it could be bullshit. You know what I mean?
Could be.
Going down these rabbit holes.
I don't think it's total bullshit though.
Yes, tell them.
I think definitely, because like
maybe a species of them.
I think there's probably like the main species. They're probably definitely clones of them or robot versions of them, because the whole idea of our society is that they want to keep tabs on us.
Yeah,
they want to know what we're doing. Yeah. Our cameras right now are probably watching us. The government's probably watching us right now.
There's a white van outside my bed right now. So
and they can't.
No matter how much they care,
Right. Technically, they can't intrude on our privacy. So birds would be the next best thing anyway, because they can hear through. You can hear through things with electronics. You know what I mean? Like the shit nowadays, you can hear through fucking walls and shit. Like, and birds are very, very inconspicuous. You can put a fucking 100 of them behind a damn tree in your house, and you'll never know the difference.
Never know.
I don't think it's any. I don't think it's dumb. No.
Why I don't think it's all the way false is because you guys see those 5G towers that are disguised as trees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if I tell you that, hey man, there's 5G, I mean, you're conspiracy theorists, man. But I mean, that shit is going on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's out there to
They're
have
probably charging stations for the birds.
They introduced that technology where you lay your phone on something and it charges.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
everything's connected, bro. Everything's
all connected.
Oh shit! So going more out of the cave, you know what I mean? Like I said, conspiracy theories and all that boils down into more just spirituality and just kind of protecting your own. And bro, I didn't know you fought. You fucking do Muay Thai?
I do kickboxing. Yeah.
Kickboxing, okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Fun. Love it.
How long have you been doing that? Because I do boxing and I did a Muay Thai fight. So seeing that is cool to me. You know what I mean? I'm like, we could rabbit hole in that too.
So yeah, I boxed for 5 years when I was younger, and then I started kickboxing last year. So I've been kickboxing a year now.
Bro, exactly like me.
I honestly just wanted to see how I was doing it, bro. Like I started it to go back just for boxing. Then the coach was like, "Oh man, you should try kickboxing." So I'm like, fuck it, I'll see how I do. And then see how I do became 3 months, and then 3 months became a fight, and then 3 more months became another fight, and then I'm still there. So I might do an amateur fight soon. So
hell yeah,
man, it's fun. I love it. Like I think everybody should get into some type of combat sport, whether it be just to learn to defend yourself or to learn discipline. You know what I mean? It's good for everybody.
Yeah, you were in the military too, right, Mel?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, 4 years National Guard. Yep.
So I'm friends with a lot of soldiers, and funny enough, like a lot of my training partners are in the military. Do you guys like go through some kind of CQB? Like,
so like, I think that it's just like
it doesn't seem like it. I'm just kidding.
Hey, no, I just don't use it, dog. I just don't choose to use it.
I'm just kidding.
I call me up.
I think that like you just build a mindset to work hard, man. Like, and they teach you that, and I say this a lot on my lives. Like, if you go with your feelings all the time rather than what you know you should do, then you'll never do anything. So, in the Army is a big thing that teaches you that. It's like you're either going to listen and do it the right way, or you're going to fuck up and do it the wrong way. It's just literally how life is. And I think that everybody should go to at least basic training just to learn that. Just to learn the integrity of doing something that you said you were going to fucking do. And being honest about what you do. You know what I mean? I just think that a baseline, just having a baseline of that is good. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I learned a lot about myself in basic training for sure. Yeah, it's a game mentality. But for a lot of people, not a lot, but for like some of the people, they didn't know how to handle themselves mentally, and like I would see these dudes getting washed back because they would just have a breakdown because they couldn't deal with it. And for me, it was just that like it's not that they're never going to get there. It's just they haven't bought into themselves and truly believe that they can accomplish these things that are deemed to be difficult or stressful or this and that. So like for me, it was just about, quote unquote, playing the game. But it was also like in the physical mindset of it, of like, no, I'm going to push myself because yeah, he's yelling at me, but at the same time, like it's because he wants me to do it. And talking to veterans before I went in helped me a lot. But I definitely like that, like try and go to basic training for it's only 8 weeks, but like I learned a lot about myself and a lot of the stuff that I learned while I was in, especially about myself, I try to apply, daily when I can. And like the Air Force core values, I know that they're like, a lot of people dismissed them or said that they were cheesy, but the more you believe into that stuff, like it's going to better yourself down the road because you're going to have at least something that you can believe in. And in a world where like there's a lot of stuff where, like we're talking today, like you might not want to believe in, like you can at least believe in those positive things that can help build the foundation for you to become a better human.
Hey, I think this fool's a drone, bro. I don't know. Do you hear him glitch?
Nah,
No, bro.
No, my internet's fucked up, dude. It's the birds. It's the birds. It's the birds outside, dog.
No wonder you like that conspiracy theory, bro. It's a fucking smoke screen.
No, but to go to the combatives portion, we didn't get like hands-on, like in-depth training on it. It was mainly like we had our PT gear on and we had a fake holster, and it was like, all right, you're gonna try and grab his gun from behind because I was in security forces, so that we had to have a little bit of combatives training and how to like get out of like if we were in a headlock or if we were trying to get fucked with, how to defend myself at the bare minimum. But we weren't taught like holds and grapples and all that. But I know that in I think the Marines and in the Army too, like you guys like fuck each other up.
Yeah, they taught us some stuff like I just don't like rolling around on the ground, dude. Like
not in the padded room.
But they taught us how to get out of some stuff, and we went against each other in our platoons and stuff. Like a little tournament, I guess you could say.
Right.
But yeah.
That's cool. No, I feel like like I said, I train with a lot of soldiers, and I'm kind of jealous that I didn't get to experience basic training or boot camp because I feel like it's a rite of passage. You know what I mean? I feel like men should kind of go through some kind of, ritual in order to be like, hey, you're not a boy anymore. You're a man. You know what I mean? Like things are going to happen that are out of your control. You just got to control what you can. And if it sucks, then it sucks. You can still make a good thing out of this shitty situation, right?
Absolutely.
And it's funny because what's cool is you get that as well in martial arts. So if you don't get the basic training, bro, you'll get your ass kicked if you go, you know what I mean, to martial arts. And it's not anything personal. It just it's a reality check almost. You know absolutely. What I mean?
You learn a lot about accountability too, and like if someone like because you get handed the tools to do it yourself, you get handed the tools to be able to accomplish these things, and if you can't do it, that's on you. And it's like, well, that airman fucked it all up for the rest of us, but no, it's on us to like, you're only as strong as the weakest link. So like we all got to be on the same page. A lot of accountability for sure that I learned.
Yeah, accountability. Yeah,
and I think you touched on it, Mel, just not being emotional too, just kind of being in that environment where you can't control it. Just like it sucks, but I got to go through it. You know what I mean? So, with training, it's like I don't want to run, but at the same time, I don't want to be gassed out by the second round type shit. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just run and make that shitty and not have that be a factor into my fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you just gotta push your brain to do a little bit more, and then you just start pushing past your thresholds. Again, that's what something the Army taught me, man. It's just like make the best out of a shitty ass situation. We used to say, embrace the suck.
Yeah.
I think Naro said that too on his podcast.
It's a thing, dude.
That's a thing you heard too, Zach, or what?
It helps. Yeah. Like I also heard false motivation equals real motivation. So you're almost kind of like you're like faking yourself to be pumped about something that sucks, but like eventually, like if you keep embracing it, like you're gonna love it. That's how it was for me with long distance running, because I hate running, but when there's a goal and there's like that mindset, like I'm gonna get better at this, but like also like I love this, even though I didn't. Like if I just told myself that, I was able to run for miles, and then it's like, holy shit, I just ran 3 miles. Like I've never done that before. Oh, next I'm doing 4 next, but I feel good, and just kind of snowballs into like just being accomplished and being able to be your better self down the road.
Hell yeah, man! You're creating kind of another version egregore of yourself in order to, you know what I mean, manifest into you
a better version. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Just to wrap that all up, man. Let's wrap it up. Mel, you got anything to highlight or put on before you head out of here, man?
Yeah, man. Just listen out to, like I said, Why Love's coming out Valentine's Day or in February. Just look out for that. Hit me up on all of my things are the same. Onlyonemelman on Instagram, on TikTok, on all of my joints, on Linktree, everything. Appreciate you for having me, man. Definitely.
Always a good time, man. I can't wait for that album to drop. Zach, you got anything to plug?
We're going to be recording another edition of Cave Sports this week. Be on the lookout for that. Just keep trying to be your best selves. Embrace the suck, y'all.
That's a dope message, man. Hell yeah. Cave Sports, check them out. Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Also, I have an episode, Reality Czars podcast, and I'm going to be on Paranoia Radio next Friday, dropping that alien shit where just keep going in that. That's a new thing that I'm developing, you know what I mean? But I might just invest a little more into that. All right, guys, make sure you check out our sponsors at safelightcandle.com. Also, check us out at cave.com, k4v3.com. Join our Discord. We have a Fortnite tournament coming up soon, December 17th, I believe. $200, I think. Potentially, you could win.
Sounds right.
So check that out on our website or on our socials at The Cave, k4v3.com. All right, guys. Later. Yeah. Good shit.
Appreciate you, Mel.
Appreciate you. Safe.
Hold up. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. It's the outro.
Hey, is that really Zach? I think that's a fucking drone, bro. I don't know. I got to check.
That does not compute.